Hello and welcome to Must Listen Music, my weekly review of all the best new albums from around the world. It doesn't matter if it's rap, pop, dance, indie or anything in between. If it's good, I'm going to be talking about it. Now I've got two absolute crackers for you this week and one which is already one of my favourite albums of the year. So without further ado, my first must-listen album this week is by Scottish hip-hop trio Young Fathers and their third studio album, Cocoa Sugar. It's fair to say, Young Fathers have almost had their career in reverse. Most artists work their way towards critical acclaim and consistent quality albums, but the first time I heard about Young Fathers was when they won Scottish Album of the Year in 2012 with their second mixtape called Take Two. I mean, let's face it, most people would call it quits at that point and bathe in the glory of Scottish Album of the Year award winners, but not Young Fathers. In 2014, they went one better and claimed one of music's most prestigious prizes, winning the Mercury Music Prize award. Having sold just under 2,500 albums of their winning album Dead up till that point, it was truly incredible that such a small, unknown band could see off the likes of Damon Albarn, Bombay Bicycle Club, Royal Blood, just to name a few. It speaks volumes about the quality of this album and the sound they produce. They then went on to release equally good second album, White Men Are Black Too, and then they had the opportunity to feature 6 tracks on the Trainspotting 2 soundtrack. In fact, even director Danny Boyle claimed their music was the heartbeat of the film. A pretty impressive CV all round, I'm sure you will agree. So the announcement of the impending third album release, Cocoa Sugar, was greeted by an episode of hysteria from myself, but the band coupled this news with a statement, "Here is a song called Lord, you can't dance to it." And how right they were. The first track from the album is quite a spiritual number with heavy doses of gospel set up to a tender piano and focuses on themes of love and struggle. Band member Massaquoi sings on the opening lines of the track, "It's too late, too late. I won't see you later. If you fade, I'll fade. Fading together, love is blind." It's quite a departure from their previous work, but I guess that's why Young Fathers are so acclaimed. They continuously evolve their sound, keeping their listener guessing as to what is coming next. This track is accompanied by a tongue-in-cheek music video featuring a semi-naked Massaquoi seductively riding a rocking horse. It's very odd, but it's a gentle reminder not to take them too seriously. A stark contrast to second single and best track on the album, in my view. This was a real statement of intent from Young Fathers. Half spoken, half sung, Massaquoi sings on top of a scattered drum beat and the whir of a synthesizer. The lyrical theme is immediately apparent. Everything isn't always what it's made out to be. The forward intensity of this track was to then form the backbone of the album. Young Fathers' mission statement for Cocoa Sugar was to make something more normal and linear compared to their last 2 albums. And from that perspective, and that perspective alone, this album is an epic failure. In fact, a month before the release, band member K.S. Bankole claimed it was a mission impossible anyway. Unlike a lot of hip-hop albums, Cocoa Sugar doesn't simply carry the same vibe all the way through the album. There is a multitude of genres often coming together on the same song in an epic head-on collision. This juxtaposition is heard in the lyrics also. For example, on track Wow, which is 4 minutes of the most intense, pulsating dark synths you will ever hear, but this is accompanied by lyrics which are so positive, but then it's delivered in such a deadpan way. I just didn't know what to think by the end. My brain was scrambled. If you are going to choose one of my must-listen albums this week, choose this one. It's a fascinating, forward-thinking and genre-redefining album. Young Fathers take you on a roller coaster ride of emotions and sounds. These guys just get better and better and better. Surely a shoe-in for Mercury Music Prize #2. Young Fathers and Cocoa Sugar is my first must-listen album this week. And my second must-listen album this week is the second full-length release from Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and the album is called Tearing at the Seams. Rateliff and his band of 7 merry men have a lot to live up to after the worldwide success of their self-titled debut. Although this time, rather than the approach of Rateliff and his band, he was very keen to ensure that this was a team effort. Rateliff claimed, "I wanted them to feel like they are contributing artistically and emotionally to the experience of writing and creating this music." This was helped in part by the appointment of Richard Swift from Shin's fame to produce the album. One of Swift's biggest wins was translating the sound and feeling of Rateliff's world-renowned live performances and converting them to a studio album. And it has to be said, he has done a fantastic job capturing this live feel. It was obvious from lead single You Worry Me that Tearing at the Seams was going to be more upbeat than the debut. Although sticking to their folk Americana roots, this single builds on a simple piano line, minimalist guitar riff, a marching bass, and of course Rateliff's raspy vocals. Now, technically, Justin Timberlake's disastrous new album Man of the Woods is the same genre as Tearing at the Seams. However, JT could do a lot worse than listen to this album to understand how real, good Americana folk music is made. Rateliff and co have absolutely nailed their sound, and they have a real ease and comfort in this position. This really shines through on this album, and you can't help but feel their positivity. This is a vibrant collection of songs that make you want to smile, songs that make you want to dance, and some that actually make you want to cry. But all in all, you're going to have a jolly good time with old Rateliff. Tearing at the Seams is a real coming of age for their music, and they will have no problem building a worldwide fan base with this easy listening, upbeat, fun and above all expertly delivered album. Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, Tearing at the Seams wraps up must listen music this week. See you again next week.